I'm here. Just checking something. Hold on. Oh, will you come on? Cellular phone. Let's go. There we go. Okay. All right. Well, it didn't work. Hold on. I'm coming, people. I'm coming. I said I'm coming. All right. I'm back. All right. What's happening, everybody? I personally would like to start our show off tonight with thanking the sponsors of the show. And first up tonight, we have Jad over at Jade Affiliated. What's up, Pat? Um, you need custom Harley Davidson wheels, custom parts. Jad is amazing at what he does. I am running his Walter White that's been a little bit tweaked and custom for my bike. And all I can tell you is if you need a custom wheel, you've got to check out jadeaf.com and go check out his wheels. He has some of the best, in the industry. Go check him out on all the social media platforms at Jade Affiliated or jadeaf.com. Next up, American Drag Seats, AmericanDragSeats.com. You need custom motorcycle seat, custom upholstery work. We do it all over here. You send us a pan, we can make a pan. You send us a stock seat, we can recover a stock seat. You need a custom Harley Davidson seat. We have pretty much every year make and model for you. We make custom seats, man, custom motorcycle seats. Give us a try, AmericanDragSeats.com or American Drag Seats on all the social media platforms. Just reach out to us. We got you covered. Next up is our good friend Daniel Roby over at Urban Rides Magazine, established in 2019. That magazine's 6 years old. Great magazine. Daniel Roby, Jason Silman, and the guys are always at the rallies. If you can't get to the rally, they're at the rally. Follow Daniel Roby. You will get a heads up of the rallies, the stereo competitions, updates on everything going on, the show times for every show there. He is so valuable to this industry. You've got to get over there to urbanridesmagazine.com and get you a subscription. Next up is our good friend Earl at hopkins-design.com. If you need a website or anything like that, you need to get with Earl at hopkins-design.com. The dude is really good at what he does. Whether you need a logo, you need print, you need web design, photos, videos, drone footage, whatever, he can do it all. Check him out at hopkins-design.com. And then last, but definitely not least, our good friends over at hellspeedshop.com. Need a custom flannel shirt? Man, these guys have some of the most awesome flannel shirts, period. Not in just the motorcycle industry, but every industry. They have great flannel shirts. They're custom. They're low numbers, so they're all kind of like a collector's edition. But you got to get over there to hellspeedshop.com, check them out, and order some stuff up. You will not be disappointed. So let's see who all's watching. John Lynch is watching, Wayne Smith, Nancy Weems, Scotty Roberts, Scott Hoover. What's going on, everybody? So tonight, I'm actually going to do something. I don't think I've ever done this before, but I am actually going to get a little bit. I don't even know what the word I want to use for this, but I think I'm just gonna say I'm gonna get a little real with everybody. So for everybody that's been watching this show for the last, let's see, 5, 6, 7.5 years, because yes, we're in our 7.5 year mark right now. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for staying loyal. Thank you very much for tuning in on the Thursday nights that I do this. Thank you to all the sponsors that do this. But man, this shit ain't easy. It's not easy every single Thursday night, with the occasional night that I don't do it, which is very rare. I think it's like maybe 4 times a year I don't go live. But it's hard to do this show and come up with something worthy of watching and worthy of getting into. What's up, Tim McLaughlin? It's hard to find topics that are interesting to get the viewers up, to get people interested in watching the show and doing this. this podcast never started because I wanted to, have my own podcast and do this. It started because a painter screwed over somebody that I thought was a friend of mine, and I wanted to go live on Facebook, which is a good platform to let people know, hey, look, when you do business in any world, not just the motorcycle world, you got to do your research. You got to know who you're dealing with, because not everybody in business that owns a business is gives two shits about their customers, and not every customer gives two shits about a company. I've said it for years and years and years. The loyalty is very, very hard to find in any industry, because people always want the best price, the highest quality, and you can't always do that, because it's been said 1,000 times, you get what you pay for. And I have a good example of that, and I'm not going to say people's names because I don't want to put anyone on blast, because I'm not here to put people on blast. But I have a friend of mine, and this customer asked him for a paint job, and he gave the price, and the customer said, oh no, that's too expensive. So he went somewhere else, got it a couple thousand cheaper, got the paint back. It looked like crap. So he called my friend back, told my friend, hey, let me do this. Now your price is going to be, more. So the customer was like, nah, I've already got X amount of dollars in it, man. I can't afford to pay that. So I think the numbers were, the initial paint job was 8,000. Customer found someone else for 5. They spent $5,000 for shit. They had to have it redone. And then he goes back and tries to get okay, it's going to be $10,000 now to do it. Okay, well, if I spend $10,000 now, that means I've got 15,000 in the paint job. Nah, I'm going to take it back to the original guy that already paid 5. He said he'd do it for 6. So now the guy's got $11,000 invested in the paint job, and it still looks like shit. So now he's coming back again. Hey man, what will you charge me? He goes like, well, now it's going to be $11,000 for me to take all that paint off, clean it all back up, and do it again. He goes, well, man, I've already got $11,000 in it. By the time I pay you 11, I have $22,000 in my paint job. And my friend said, hey, not my problem. You could have had $8,000 in it and been happy, but you didn't want to do that. You were looking for something else. And now it's biting you in your ass. Now, whose fault is that? Is it the painter's fault because he didn't want to come off his price, or is it the customer's fault because the customer just didn't want to pay a more expensive price for quality? The whole reason I'm telling you guys this is because when I come on here on Thursday nights, I try to bring information to everybody. And yes, it's a lot of regurgitation on my part, because I don't know what else to freaking talk about in this industry, even though I have an opinion on a lot of shit in the industry. Well, tonight I'm going to give you my opinion on a lot of crap in this industry. And it blows my mind, because I sit here and I see my numbers, because I have my cell phone on my personal page. I have another computer hooked up that's on the YouTube page. And then I've got this one going live on the Grind page. So I can see the numbers on all 3 platforms. And on all 3 platforms, that you're looking at roughly 30 people watching. But as soon as somebody comes up with one of these stupid stereo competitions and all the drama that happened at said stereo competition, there's hundreds of viewers. And I've come to the realization that what everybody really wants is they want dirt. They want to hear what's bad in the industry. They want to hear the latest drama. And unfortunately, the audio side has so many kick-ass people in it. And the reason I say that is because we've got about 4 really good companies that build great audio products. You've got another 4 or 5 companies that build great audio components, speakers, amps, XYZ. So the manufacturers are not the problem. It's the people that are the problem. And don't get me wrong, where we do audio bikes here just like everybody else does, and sometimes it's little 4-speaker setups, sometimes it's full-blown custom setups, like we're doing a 6-speaker setup downstairs right now. on a bike that never should have had audio in the first place. And when we're done with it, it'll look really, really, really good, but be really, really unique. So I'm not harshing on the industry. I'm harshing on the people and the train wreck that goes along with it, and just sitting here scratching my head, trying to figure out, why is it the drama that everybody really loves to see? And I love my boy Keith Barker. I love him to death because, in my opinion, Keith Barker wants to do this in such a way that you take out all the BS. You get rid of all of the BS that goes along with it. And yes, I understand. Before I piss anybody off, yes, I understand Ricky Will is trying to do something good. Daniel Roby's trying to do something good. All the different Ron Nuts trying to do something good. All the people out there hosting these stereo competitions, they're trying to do something good. But as soon as you mix in, the competition side of it, people get shitty. And I don't understand it. I do understand good competition, some smack talk, and I get that. But when you take and you strangle the competition or the rules of your contestants, you end up shooting yourself in the foot, and it's horrible. I would agree, Scotty Roberts, but my whole point is that if you dumb it down to a certain degree, it leaves less room for arguments. So I personally agree, when it comes to the technical side of the audio game, I trust everything that Scott Owens has to say because he's time tested, proven to know what he's doing. So when you find someone like that, you want to absorb their knowledge because he's only here to help you. When you find someone like a Keith Barker, that in my opinion is almost a polar opposite of Scott Owens, in his own right, he is really, really good at what he does, but he has zero F's to give. So he puts it out there, he tells you how he feels, and that's the way it is. So the reason I'm bringing this stuff up tonight is because I come on here every Thursday night, with the exception about 4 or 5 times a year. So there's 52 weeks in a year. So I'll just play devil's advocate and say I come on live 45 times a year. It costs me money to put the platform on, which is what you're viewing here. It costs me about $360 a year just to pay for the platform so that you guys can see this, the banner and all that, and I can add people, I can do the advertisements, and I can stream to 3 or 4 different platforms. But I'm really running out of shit that's worthy of talking about, and there's so many people in this industry that I would love to just talk to. If you want to come on this show and talk about anything, it doesn't even have to be necessarily motorcycle related, shoot me a message because I need help coming up with better content to give people more to see, give them more information. You guys know I love talking about business. Why do I love talking about business? Well, because for about the first 5 years of myself being in a business since 1997, so you got to think 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001. For the first 5 years being in business, I learned every hard lesson you could learn about being in business. And then I took the last 22 years and got good at it. Figuring out how do you run a business, how do you do a business, how do you pay your taxes, how do you pay your employee taxes, how do you do all these things. So I love talking about it now because I've learned every hard lesson you need to learn. And if I can save you some time, I want to give you that information for free. Welding. I'm not God's gift at welding, but I am a professional welder. I get paid to weld on a daily basis, working in a chemical plant, doing my thing. I'm certified. If you need help with welding, I love talking about help welding. My whole point is, with everything that I do, I always try to help people. And that's what I actually started this for, was to help people. But sometimes it's like beating my head against a brick wall. I just don't understand certain things. I see a good friend of mine. Well, where'd she go? Well, she may not be watching. Carol. I appreciate all you guys watching. Mrs. Kahanik, Varric Falcone, that painting fool is in the house. I need to get him on this show. My buddy Tim McLaughlin's in the house. Mrs. Brewer is in the house. Krista Thompson, Jeff Kors, Scotty Roberts, Scott Hoover, my brother from another mother. My whole point is I really appreciate all you guys watching, but it's not a technical show. It's not a let me show you the technical way to run a machine shop or to weld or to do stuff like that. So it's not that kind of show. I'm not going to build a bike in front of you. If you need help with stuff like that and you want to see something on this show that I haven't discussed, or you want to, me to get back into something else, what's up, Kelly? If you want anything else on this show, all you got to do is send me a message. Hell, 90% of you guys have my cell phone number. Y'all can text me and say, hey, won't you talk about this? Scotty Roberts said, facts, Kevin Sockwell has helped in 5 to 6 times just in the last 3 months. And that's my pleasure, Scotty Roberts. It's my pleasure to help you. I enjoy those types of things. But when I have to see the videos, because I'm just like everybody else, I love watching, Ricky Will go live. I love watching Jay Ford go live, even though he goes live like this so you can see straight up his nose, which, by the way, all you other guys doing podcasts, angle your cameras upwards so that's going down in your face, because nobody likes looking up your nose. I know I damn sure don't. And, pay attention. Quit driving in your car with your camera below you so we have to look up your nose while you're talking. Nobody likes that. Stop it. Stop it. I've told you, I've commented on everybody's. Stop with the angling up your nose. We don't want to see it. I'm too damn ugly to be on TV. But my whole point is, what's up, Austin? But my whole point is that it blows my mind sometimes when I see all these videos, and I love watching them because I like the fact that they're going live. I like the fact that they're talking about stuff. I love the information being given when there's information being given. But when it just seems like it's always, well, this guy did that to that guy did this to that guy, this guy. And you know what? You're never going to stop favoritism. I don't know how you would. I don't know how you would do that. But I do know everybody likes watching, especially Keith Barker when he goes live, because the dude he's entertaining. He's charismatic. He could do this. But I'm reaching out to everybody right now tonight saying, hey, look, if there is a topic you would like me to discuss, motorcycle related, audio related, welding related, business related, or anything else, I don't care if it's anything else, man, shoot me a message, send me a text, send me a message on Facebook, send Uncle Bruno a message on Facebook. Uncle Bruno is my right-hand man with this show, whether anybody knows it or not. He is the dude behind the scenes making the shit happen. But there's just so much more I would like to talk about. Like, one of the things I would like to talk about tonight is, what do you do when you have a bad day where it just seems like, in spite of how hard you try, no matter what you do, nothing works out for you that day? How do you combat that? How do you get out of your own way? Because I know here in the last 2 or 3 months, I have literally gotten in my own way so much, it's ridiculous. I thought this was about the build off. How many are really committed? From what I can see right now, Scotty Roberts, I know everybody's committed. Everybody's talking about it. We're just not seeing anybody posting anything, which I will tell you guys this. Man, from what I've seen, hookers and blow. I don't have any experience with hookers or blow that I know of. from what I've seen, these bikes are ridiculous. It kind of blows my mind being a welder, the fabricator, and this, that, and the other, building a couple of bikes. When I see people start building a bike and the way that their mind thinks, and I'll give you guys a great example. When I first met Scotty Roberts and we started discussing about him being in a build off, and this was 2018, I think it was, because I think he pursued me for about a year before I actually agreed to let him in. Not because I didn't want to let him in, but because we already had things lined out. So get that out of the way before we could get him into a build off. He told me his story. He told me what was going on. And I was just so happy that he would reach out to me to want to be on a build off, because it's cool when you see people build bikes. But when you don't know what someone is capable of building and they bring a bike to a show in Sturgis, mind you, I mean, that's the granddaddy of every motorcycle rally. That's the most prestigious motorcycle rally. That's where the biggest, baddest bike shows have always been. And he brings this bike out called Killshot, which I still don't know why it was called Killshot. It doesn't matter. But I do know when he pulled that bike out, he was so humble. He was so nervous because he saw what his competition had been able to build. And he was like, man, I just don't know if I'm even going to be able to compete. And I was like, dude, from what I see, I don't know if they're going to be able to compete. But knowing and seeing what Scotty built, having never seen what he built before, and you look at the details and you look at the creativity and the paint scheme and the stereo system and everything that he did, it's not the build that impressed me. It's how did you come up with the idea to do that impressed me. That got me. And that's the part of bike building that I really, really enjoy, is that when you take someone like a Scotty Roberts, or for that fact, a Devin Sockwell, or you take a Wayne Smith, or you take Tim. I mean, you take these different human beings and you say, hey, build a bike. And they agree, they're going to build a bike. And then when you see what they build, you sit back in awe. How did, where did you get the inspiration to build that? And what made you think about this? What made you think about doing that? That's why I wanted to see pictures. That's why I wanted to see the little 5-minute videos. Because let's be real clear. The whole grind thing behind me, all that, this is nothing more than my version of the Discovery Channel's biker build off, because I enjoy watching how people build. I like watching their processes. I like seeing the behind the scenes, the dirty work that you don't get to normally see. Because let me tell you what, if you think building a bike is I'm going to start on this day and finish on this day, and it's just going to go smooth. That's not how shit works. That's not how the real day works. You start building a bike and you start making a gas tank for it, and you get the gas tank done and you sit back and you're like, man, that looks like shit. I mean, it's a cool looking gas tank, but it's not the gas tank for this build. So you take that off and you either trash it or you set it on a shelf or something like that and you start all over. I know for a fact that there were 3 builders in the first 6 biker build offs I did, 3 of them, that messing with the gas tank got them. And they started the gas tank, looked at it, stepped back, and were like, nope, that ain't it. And they shit canned it. They moved it. They put it on the shelf, whatever, and started over. In the 2021 biker build off, somebody built a frame and canned it with literally 9 weeks until deadline. Shit canned their own frame and started over. That's the stuff that gets me, is the actual build. I want to see the build. I want to see taking the measurements, cutting the pipe, bending the pipe, stretching the metal, shrinking the metal, bead rolling it, English wheeling it, plenishing hammer. I want to see people making stuff. That's what I really want to see. Unfortunately, nobody's sending videos yet. Nobody's posting pictures. And I get it. I understand that because everybody wants to get that wow factor, that surprise factor when it happens. And it's good stuff. You got comments shut off. No, comments are either they're going to be on my personal page or the grind page. You're going to have to see because man, this program hasn't been letting me do what I want to do the way I want to do it. Everything should be streaming through the grind page, but comments are going to be on each individual page. So if you're on the grind page watching, then you can only see the comments being left on the grind page. If you're on my personal page, hi Diana Boyd. If you're on my personal page, you're only going to see the comments on my personal page. If you're on the YouTube channel, you're only going to see the comments coming up on the YouTube channel. I don't have a way to have one centralized show because each individual page offers up its own followers. Like the grind page has 8,000 or 9,000 followers. My personal page has over 13,000 followers, but the YouTube channel only has about 1,000 followers. So I'm trying to strike where there's more people to watch to get the viewership higher and get the numbers higher. And just to let everybody know, on my personal page, because I did monetize it about a year ago, I'm up to about $9 a month from posting my reels and the videos and stuff like that. So woohoo, go me. I get $9 a month. But anyway, back to the biker build off. So the reason that I did the biker build off was because I wanted to see people build bikes. It's what it's always been about, what it's always going to be about. And at the end of the day, I just want to see creations. I just want to see what people think, where their minds are at, how they paint, how they weld, how they fabricate, how they put the bikes together, because I enjoy watching it, just like everybody else does. If you were to go to any of my pages like TikTok, you go to my Instagram page, or you go to the YouTube channel, anytime you type, I go to any of those pages, my algorithms have built up to the point where I'm watching people fabricate metal, and it doesn't matter what kind. The majority of the stuff I see is people fabricating with rebar. I don't know why I'm watching rebar all the time, but I mean, I make some cool shit with rebar and bearings. What's up, Marcia? The green bike with the green anodized bike Bloodline did is still one of my favorites, bar none. Amen. The guy, they know what they're doing. There is a way when it comes to me, I'll let you know. Right on. Thanks, Nancy. But yo, Mr. Logan Black, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for watching again, also. But the whole point is the enjoyment of watching bikes being built. I like the welding. I like the fabrication. I like the metal shaping, which, is another reason I like watching Powerhouse, the reels that Ulysses puts up all the time, because he focuses in on Eric building tanks and doing the trike work and doing the fender work and things of that nature. And I love watching that shit happen. I just do. I'm a car nut, so I watch all like the Martin Brothers Iron Resurrection. I used to watch Texas Metal. There's just a whole bunch of them. One of my favorite people to watch is Bad Chad. I like watching Bad Chad because everything he does is so unorthodox, but when he gets finished, it looks amazing. I just like it. Green bike is Bloodline Custom Cycles. I don't remember building a green bike. But anyway, my whole point is that the reason I do this show is because I love the motorcycle industry. I love bringing information to people, business information, different things of that nature. But it's getting really, really hard to beat old Powerhouse Metalwork. Ron Schmidt, he is good. He's very good. But again, if you guys know of anybody that wants to be interviewed. If you want to be interviewed on the show, I'll talk to anybody. I'll talk to you for the simple fact you've been watching the show for as long as you have. Yes, you did it a few years back, 22, 23, maybe with the fat ape hangers. But my whole point is that it's getting to the point where it's StreamYard. I'm going to have to check into StreamYard, Nancy. If you have a link for it, send it to me, and I'll check into that because Eric could build a giant dildo and I would tune in and watch every second. The dude is a beast, ridiculous talent. Amen. Amen. But you get my point. So the whole point is that everybody likes watching. We're a bunch of voyeurs with single headlight. Anyway, but anyway, so my whole point is that we got the 8 builders. Everything's going good from what I understand. We haven't had anybody back out. Everybody is still building. We're just not getting to see everything that's being built. I personally am waiting on Timothy Skates. I want to see what he's got going on. I'm waiting on Eric. I want to see what he's got going on. Uh, haven't heard hide nor hair from Cameron, but I can't wait to see what he's got going on. So there's just a whole lot of bikes out there. I mean, there's 8 builders. I mean, I'm privy to about 4 of them, but I'd like to get the other 4 and see what everybody else is doing. We're still working on getting these guys to do interviews. I don't know why. I mean, I'm waiting on. I did ask Timothy Skates last week if you guys tuned in, and he did confirm that he was out of town. But when he gets back in town and gets settled, we're going to set up a night and I'm going to interview Timothy. Great interviews. All these guys are great people, first of all. I have not heard one single negative comment come out of any builder's mouth about any of the other builders at all. And let me tell you guys, that's refreshing. And that's all I'm going to say about that. It's refreshing that the 8 builders we have in this build off actually seem to like each other. And they're actually, from what I can understand, everybody is looking forward to competing against everybody. There's no drama. There's no, that dude sucks or, he's a piece of shit. He can't build. There is none of that. I've talked to all of them. We have a group chat on Facebook and there's nothing. I mean, there's friendly memes and banter going on. Don't get me wrong. I like it. It's good. But the reality of the build off is that the build off is going great. I'm just like everybody else. I want to see the progress. I want to see what's going on. So, but anyway, guys, again, I'm going to reach out. I'm going to ask you one more time. Please go to my personal page, the Grind page. At the top of the page is pinned is a GoFundMe account. If you can afford $5, man, hook it up. Donate to the cause. I am trying desperately to get as close to, 20 or 30 grand so that we can afford to do the documentary and we can afford to give a pretty big ass cash prize to the one single winner. If you could, just go there, donate whatever you can. If you can't donate, share it. Just share it so other people can read it and see if they can't get it, get it happen. I can't wait for the 300-mile trip ride in for the build up. Don't be scared. But anyway, guys, that's about all I got to say. Please do that for me. Again, if there's any other topics or stuff you guys want to discuss, you want to come live with me, shoot me a message. I'd be happy to have anybody. I appreciate the fact that you watch every week. And hell, I'd love to talk to any of you live on the show and we'll make a night of it, man. It would be great. But anyway, you guys go have a great Memorial weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Don't work too hard. Don't party too hard. Have some fun. And we will see you all next week right here